For over a century, one predator has reigned supreme in the imagination of humankind, the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex, a beast of bone-crushing jaws, towering presence, and primal terror. But in recent decades, another contender has risen from the shadows of time, a rival whose long jaws and aquatic prowess may have made it the true apex hunter of the Cretaceous world. This is the story of a clash not just of titans, but of legends. Tyrannosaurus rex versus Spinosaurus, the greatest dinosaur battle. What defines a predator? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it intelligence or sheer adaptability? For every answer, prehistory offers us more questions. For every skeleton unearthed, mysteries only deepen. Today we explore not merely a fight that never happened, but a clash of evolutionary strategies of survival itself. The land tyrant against the river dragon. One ruled the earth, the other ruled the waters. And in the space between, they existed as the giants of their respective realms. But who would have been the true king of all? Could these two predators have met in battle, or were they simply ships passing in the prehistoric night? Imagine a world 100 million years ago where the earth was warm and humid. The planet was teeming with life, where creatures of unimaginable size and strength ruled the land and the waters. In this world, two creatures, each so different from the other, would have been born to dominate. One ruled the rivers, the other ruled the land. But what happens when these titans of nature come face to face? Who would reign supreme in this ultimate battle? We may never know, but what we do know is that each of these predators had evolved in unimaginable ways to dominate their world, and that is where our story begins. To understand the scale of this rivalry, we must first step back in time to the Cretaceous period, about 100 million years ago. This was the age of the dinosaurs, an era that would see the rise of some of the largest predators to ever walk, swim or fly on Earth. In the midst of a world where the oceans and continents were shifting, two giants emerged. The first, the king of the land, Tyrannosaurus rex, dominated the open plains of what is now North America. Known for its terrifying jaws and unparalleled bite force, T-Rex is often seen as the ultimate predator. But the second, a creature almost forgotten until the late 20th century, may have been an even more formidable threat in its own domain. Spinosaurus. Once thought to be an oversized cousin of the more familiar carnivores, it wasn't until the 1990s that scientists truly began to uncover its unique features, a creature unlike any other. With a sail-like structure rising from its back and jaws designed to snap up fish, it seemed to be a creature built for a life far from the land-dwelling predators we are used to imagining. Spinosaurus was the ultimate river predator, capable of swimming, hunting aquatic prey and maneuvering through water with precision and power. It had claws built for grasping, a powerful tail for propulsion, and the sail, it could have been used to regulate temperature, attract mates, or simply intimidate rivals. Spinosaurus was built to hunt in a world where T-Rex could not even tread. Tyrannosaurus rex, by contrast, was the embodiment of raw terrestrial power. It was built for speed on land, with powerful hind limbs and jaws that could crush bone and flesh alike. T-Rex ruled the plains, the forests, and any space that could support its massive size and predatory instincts. But what would have happened if these two had crossed paths? What if the T-Rex, roaming the forest, ventured to the riverside where Spinosaurus ruled? A meeting of two predators, each so perfectly adapted to their environment, yet so different in their design. Could they have clashed? Could they have fought for dominance in this world of giants? Spinosaurus was a creature of the water. Its habitat was the winding rivers and delta systems where it would have hunted fish and other aquatic creatures. Its body, built for life in the water, made it an apex predator in its domain. With its long jaws and powerful tail, it could strike with incredible speed and precision. Its sail, perhaps a tool for thermoregulation or mating displays, only added to its mystique. Tyrannosaurus rex, on the other hand, was a creature of the land. With its massive muscular body and bone-crushing jaws, it was the undisputed predator of the terrestrial realm. It stalked the plains, hunting herds of herbivores, using its acute senses to track its prey. The T-Rex was designed for high-speed pursuit and devastating attacks, and it commanded the landscape with an intimidating presence. The world that these two creatures inhabited, though different in terrain, was part of a larger ecosystem teeming with life. Spinosaurus would have thrived in the swamps, riverbeds, and coastal regions, its aquatic nature giving it a distinct advantage in those environments. Meanwhile, T-Rex dominated the open land, its sheer size and power making it nearly unbeatable in a land-based confrontation. But what happens when two predators, each the apex of its own domain, cross paths? The question is more than theoretical, it touches on the very nature of evolution itself. These two creatures, though separated by time and space, represent two distinct evolutionary strategies for survival. The land dweller, powerful and relentless, the river hunter, swift and specialized. Could these two have ever met? While they lived in different habitats, there are still questions about the overlap of their territories. Would they have competed for food, or would they have simply never encountered each other? It's a question that can never be fully answered, but what we can explore are the adaptations that made each of these creatures so remarkable in its own right. Spinosaurus was more than just a river predator. It was a creature that pushed the boundaries of what we thought possible. Unlike any other dinosaur, it was capable of swimming with the grace of a modern-day crocodile or sea reptile. But with the aggression and skill of a hunter, its long conical teeth were perfect for grabbing slippery fish, and its body was built to cut through the water like a living missile. The unique structure of its spine, supporting a sail-like formation, furthered its adaptation to a life of aquatic hunting. Unlike most land-based predators, Spinosaurus thrived in the water, using it not only as a hunting ground but as a safe haven from competitors that roamed the dry lands. On the other hand, Tyrannosaurus rex, the king of the land, was built for power. Its massive head, equipped with teeth as large as bananas, could crush the bones of its prey with a single bite. Every muscle in its body was designed to deliver a lethal attack. Capable of reaching speeds that defied its size, while T-Rex's massive legs could push it faster than many would expect, it was its sheer strength that made it a terrifying adversary. Its bite force, the strongest of any known terrestrial animal, was the weapon that earned it the title of the ultimate predator. But while the T-Rex may have ruled the land, it was not invincible. It was not impervious to the challenges of its environment. Predators like the Spinosaurus, operating in a completely different domain, had their own set of challenges and advantages. In the watery realms where Spinosaurus reigned, the T-Rex would have had little chance. Spinosaurus's long crocodilian body allowed it to maneuver through water with a speed and precision that no land predator could match. This was a creature designed to outmaneuver, outlast, and strike from angles that would have been impossible for any land-based dinosaur to anticipate. However, the story is not just one of superiority, it is a tale of different evolutionary paths. The world of the Cretaceous period was a world of intense competition. As the continents shifted, ecosystems changed, creating new challenges for survival. The rise of Spinosaurus in the rivers and wetlands of northern Africa was just one of the many dramatic changes that defined this period. Meanwhile, the T-Rex adapted to the vast plains and forests, honing its hunting skills and evolving to become a symbol of land-based ferocity. In the battle for survival, both these creatures would have faced challenges. The T-Rex, though an apex predator, had to compete with other carnivores and had to manage the risks associated with hunting large herbivores. Its territory was filled with dangers, both from other predators and from the ever-changing landscape. Similarly, Spinosaurus, though seemingly invincible in its aquatic domain, had its own risks. The water could be unpredictable, and the challenge of finding enough food would have been a constant. Fish, though abundant, were often hard to catch in sufficient numbers. Spinosaurus would have had to rely on its adaptability to ensure it could survive and thrive. But what if these two titans of nature had met? What if their territories overlapped and they came into direct competition for resources? Would the T-Rex have been able to dominate the way it did on land? Or would Spinosaurus, with its mastery over the rivers, have claimed victory in their clash? It's impossible to say, but one thing is certain. Both these creatures were among the most remarkable predators to ever roam the planet. The story of Tyrannosaurus rex and Spinosaurus is a reminder of the vast diversity that once existed on Earth and the incredible ways in which life has adapted to meet the challenges of an ever-changing world. While they may not have ever fought each other in the wilds of the Cretaceous, their battle for supremacy, in a way, was a battle for survival, each predator carving out its own niche in a world where only the most adaptable could endure. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of these ancient creatures, we are reminded of the complexity of life itself, the delicate balance between strength and strategy, power and precision. In the end, it was not just physical might that determined success in the prehistoric world. It was the ability to adapt, to evolve, and to conquer challenges in a world that was constantly shifting and changing. The world of the dinosaurs, as we are beginning to understand, was one of both competition and cooperation, a reminder that survival is often a matter of adaptation, not just dominance. The rise of Spinosaurus as a specialist predator in the waters of the Cretaceous period raises several intriguing questions. It was a creature that defied conventional classification. Unlike most theropods that hunted on land, Spinosaurus seemed to thrive in a wetland environment. Its unique features, such as its long crocodilian snout and paddle-like tail, were not just adaptations for hunting but also for surviving in a world of constant change. This aquatic predator was not just hunting fish, it was mastering the art of ambush, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, using its long claws to capture prey in ways that few land predators could even imagine. Meanwhile, the T-Rex, with its powerful build and immense size, was focused on what was available in the vast open spaces of its environment. Its instincts and anatomy were finely tuned for the pursuit of large herbivorous creatures that could run at speeds that outstripped most other dinosaurs, yet were no match for the T-Rex's endurance and strength. But it wasn't just the T-Rex's physicality that made it an apex predator. It also relied on its keen senses, especially its vision and sense of smell, to track prey from long distances. As formidable as its strength was, the T-Rex relied on its ability to outlast and outmaneuver its targets, ensuring its dominance over vast areas of land. But despite their differences, the two creatures shared one critical trait. They were both at the top of their food chains. This position allowed them to shape the ecosystems around them, influencing everything from the behavior of herbivores to the interactions between smaller carnivores. In their respective domains, these two giants played the role of ultimate predators, each one controlling the flow of life and death in its environment. This dominance was not simply a product of size, but of the specialized skills that each evolved to survive and thrive. The ecosystems they inhabited were not static, they were dynamic, ever-changing, and fraught with new challenges. The climate during the Cretaceous period was fluctuating, with long periods of warmth and changing sea levels that would have influenced the availability of prey and the very landscapes these predators roamed. For Spinosaurus, the rising seas would have brought new opportunities and new dangers. For the T-Rex, the shifting forest and plains would have required it to adapt to different environmental pressures, pushing it to refine its hunting techniques even further. In a world where everything was constantly in flux, the survival of these two predators depended on their ability to adapt to both predictable and unexpected challenges. Their battles were not fought on a battlefield, but in the wild, where food, territory, and mates were the prizes. The struggle for dominance in this ancient world was not just a matter of strength, but of survival strategy. Could the T-Rex, with its unparalleled strength and speed, have overcome the unique advantages of the Spinosaurus in the water? And could Spinosaurus, with its specialized features, have thrived in the open plains that T-Rex called home? It is an impossible question to answer definitively, yet it is worth considering the unique advantages that each creature possessed. As we continue to explore the fossil evidence, scientists have uncovered more details about the behavior and abilities of these two dinosaurs. Recent studies have revealed that Spinosaurus had a highly specialized body structure designed for aquatic life. The shape of its bones, its tail, and even the structure of its limbs indicate that it was likely capable of swimming, making it an apex predator in the rivers and lakes of the Cretaceous period. This discovery has shifted our understanding of Spinosaurus, as it was once thought to be a land dweller. But as more evidence emerges, it becomes increasingly clear that Spinosaurus was a creature uniquely adapted to an environment that most other dinosaurs would have found inhospitable. On the other hand, the T-Rex's adaptations were a testament to its success as the king of the land. Its strong legs and massive feet were built for speed, and its enormous jaws were capable of delivering a crushing bite. T-Rex's sense of vision and smell also played a crucial role in its hunting technique, allowing it to track prey over long distances. These adaptations, combined with its immense strength and terrifying presence, made it the most formidable land predator of its time. The ongoing debate between T-Rex and Spinosaurus has sparked a renewed interest in how dinosaurs adapted to their environments. In a sense, the story of these two creatures is a story of evolution itself, of how life on Earth evolved to meet the demands of an ever-changing world. While the T-Rex was the undisputed king of the land, Spinosaurus was a master of the waters, adapting to a completely different set of challenges. Their battle for survival was fought not with claws or teeth, but with the ability to adapt, to evolve, and to dominate their respective domains. Yet there is something truly fascinating about imagining what could have happened if these two creatures had ever met. In our minds, we can picture them facing off in a grand battle, Spinosaurus emerging from the water, its sail rising in the distance, while T-Rex stalks the land, its powerful legs propelling it forward. The sheer size and power of these creatures would have made for an incredible clash. But the truth is, they would have never crossed paths, at least not in the way we imagine, and yet their rivalry, real or imagined, speaks to the heart of what it means to be a predator in a world where survival is everything. What makes the rivalry between T-Rex and Spinosaurus even more fascinating is the fact that while their evolutionary paths were so distinct, they shared a common goal: survival. In an ever-changing environment, both creatures adapted to their surroundings in the most efficient ways possible, utilizing the resources available to them. Their evolution wasn't just about the size of their teeth or the power of their limbs, it was about how they responded to the pressures of the world around them. For T-Rex, it was about dominating the land, hunting the largest prey, and outlasting competitors. For Spinosaurus, it was about mastering the waters, becoming the apex predator of the rivers and wetlands. But while Spinosaurus may have had the advantage in the water, T-Rex had the clear upper hand on land. The strength of the T-Rex was undeniable. Its sheer muscle mass, speed, and bone-crushing bite made it the ultimate terrestrial predator. It was a creature that could take down prey with a single strike, using its powerful jaws to snap through bone and muscle with terrifying efficiency. But it was more than just physical prowess that made T-Rex the top predator. It was its highly refined hunting techniques, its ability to track, stalk, and ambush its prey, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. In contrast, Spinosaurus would have had to rely on different strategies to thrive in the water. Its long, powerful tail acted as a propulsive force, allowing it to swim gracefully and silently through the waters in search of fish. The size and shape of its sail likely played a role in temperature regulation. But it could have also been used for display purposes, helping Spinosaurus assert dominance over other predators or attract potential mates. This sail, along with its aquatic hunting abilities, made Spinosaurus a creature built for a life in the water, a life that was vastly different from the one led by T-Rex on land. While Spinosaurus thrived in its watery domain, T-Rex ruled the vast plains and forests. Its territory stretched over miles of land, where it hunted large herbivores like hadrosaurs and ceratopsians. These creatures, though swift and agile, were no match for the power and speed of T-Rex. With a single swipe of its massive tail or a deadly charge, T-Rex could bring down prey larger than itself. Its role as an apex predator on land was secured through its immense size and strength, but also through its cunning hunting techniques. The T-Rex was not just a brute force, its intelligence and ability to adapt to changing circumstances played a major role in its success. But in a world filled with giants, survival wasn't always a matter of size alone. The Cretaceous period was a time of constant change. Rising sea levels, fluctuating climates, and the shifting of ecosystems meant that even the most powerful predators had to remain adaptable. For both T-Rex and Spinosaurus, survival meant being able to adapt to the challenges of their environments. The rise of Spinosaurus as a river hunter and the dominance of T-Rex as a land predator were both a result of this adaptability. Yet the forces of evolution did not stop with just these two creatures. The Cretaceous period was also home to an incredible diversity of life: other carnivores, herbivores, and even smaller predators who would have competed for food and territory. In this complex web of life, every creature had a role to play. Some may have coexisted peacefully, while others engaged in intense competition for resources. The interaction between species, whether predatory, competitive, or symbiotic, shaped the ecosystems of the time, creating a delicate balance between life and death. But even in this competitive world, the rise of T-Rex and Spinosaurus stands out. Their sheer dominance, their unique adaptations, and their evolutionary paths set them apart from the rest of the Cretaceous fauna. Each of these predators was a product of millions of years of evolution, honed by the demands of their environments. And while they may have lived in different regions and never crossed paths in the way we imagine, their presence in the same era speaks to the power of natural selection and the incredible diversity of life that once inhabited Earth. As we look at the evidence, the fossils, the bones, the remains, we are left with more questions than answers. How did Spinosaurus manage to thrive in a world dominated by larger, more powerful predators? How did T-Rex rise to become the undisputed king of the land? The answers lie in the intricate dance of evolution, where every creature must adapt or perish. The world of the Cretaceous period was a harsh and unforgiving place, where only the most well-adapted creatures could survive. T-Rex and Spinosaurus, though different in many ways, were both a testament to the power of adaptation and the resilience of life. But the story of these two creatures doesn't end with their evolutionary success. The fossil record tells us that both T-Rex and Spinosaurus faced challenges that ultimately led to their demise. The end of the Cretaceous period marked the beginning of a new era, one in which the world's ecosystems would be forever changed. The mass extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs also spelled the end for these two giants. Yet even in their extinction, they leave behind a legacy that continues to captivate our imaginations and fuel our curiosity about the world of dinosaurs. As we continue to study the remains of these ancient creatures, we uncover more about the world they once inhabited. We learn not only about their physical features and abilities, but about the ecosystems they lived in and the challenges they faced. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is not just a story of rivalry, it is a story of life, death, and survival in a world that was constantly changing. In the end, the question of who would have won in a battle between T-Rex and Spinosaurus remains unanswered. Perhaps they would have never crossed paths, or perhaps they would have clashed in a battle for dominance. What we do know is that these two creatures were among the most remarkable to ever walk the earth. Their adaptations, their evolutionary paths, and their legacy are a testament to the incredible diversity of life that once thrived during the Cretaceous period. As we continue to investigate these ancient predators, it's essential to consider not just their strengths but also their weaknesses. Every apex predator has vulnerabilities, and the great T-Rex and Spinosaurus were no exceptions. For all its size and dominance, T-Rex was not immune to the challenges of its environment. The vast open plains where it hunted were not just filled with herbivores, they also hosted other carnivores, some of which could pose a significant threat to a solitary hunter. Despite its power, T-Rex could not afford to be complacent. The environment was constantly evolving and its competitors were always adapting to the challenges of the changing world. Spinosaurus too faced its own set of challenges. While its aquatic abilities gave it an undeniable advantage in certain environments, it wasn't invincible. The waters it thrived in were often full of dangers, rival predators. Environmental fluctuations and the occasional shortage of food could have forced it to adapt in ways that we may not fully understand. Spinosaurus's massive sail, once thought to be a purely decorative feature, might have been a sign of increased energy expenditure during times of high environmental stress. There was also the possibility that it could have been vulnerable on land. While it was certainly capable of moving on land, it was undoubtedly less agile than T-Rex. This vulnerability could have put Spinosaurus at a disadvantage if it had been forced to leave the water and engage in land-based combat. But what would have happened if these two predators did meet in a contest for survival? The answer isn't straightforward, because we know that nature often favors adaptation over brute force. T-Rex may have had the size and power advantage on land, but Spinosaurus had speed, agility, and a vast hunting territory in the water. Each predator's evolutionary design made it a specialist in its respective habitat, but not necessarily an invincible one. The rivalry between T-Rex and Spinosaurus is a reminder that evolution doesn't always follow a linear path. The world of the dinosaurs was filled with a vast diversity of creatures, each one shaped by millions of years of evolution to fill specific niches. While we often think of dinosaurs as being giants that dominated the landscape, the truth is that most species were finely tuned to their environments. Whether it was a hunter, a scavenger, or a plant eater, each species had a role to play in the ecosystem. The success of T-Rex and Spinosaurus was a result of millions of years of perfecting their evolutionary strategies. They didn't need to be the biggest or the strongest, they simply needed to be the best at what they did. In the case of T-Rex, this meant dominating the land. Its powerful bite and keen senses allowed it to become the top predator in its environment, one that could outlast and outsmart its prey. It relied not just on strength, but on its ability to adapt and refine its hunting strategies. It could stalk, chase, and ambush its prey with terrifying precision. But despite its power, it had limitations. Its large size, while advantageous in many respects, could also be a hindrance in certain situations. It was not the fastest predator, and its massive body required a great deal of energy to maintain. Spinosaurus, on the other hand, represented a completely different set of adaptations. Its long, powerful body was perfectly designed for aquatic life. Its crocodile-like snout was perfect for capturing fish, and its sail, while still somewhat mysterious, may have played a role in communication or mating. But despite its specialization in the water, it would have faced its own challenges on land. Spinosaurus, while powerful, was not as agile as T-Rex on solid ground, and it would have been vulnerable to attacks from larger land-based predators. While we will never know for sure how a confrontation between T-Rex and Spinosaurus would have played out, one thing is clear: their rivalry represents the ongoing battle for survival that has always been a central theme in the natural world. Every creature, regardless of its size or power, must constantly adapt to changing environments, pressures from other species, and the challenges of survival. Evolution doesn't just favor the strongest, it favors those who can adapt and thrive in the face of adversity. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus also serves as a reminder of the incredible diversity that once existed on Earth. While these two predators are often seen as the ultimate representations of power and ferocity, the truth is that there were countless other creatures that played key roles in the ecosystems of the Cretaceous period. Smaller carnivores, herbivores, and scavengers all contributed to the complex web of life. Each creature, no matter how large or small, had a role to play in the balance of nature. As scientists continue to study the fossil evidence, we are beginning to uncover more about the ecosystems that T-Rex and Spinosaurus inhabited. Fossilized bones, footprints, and even ancient plants give us a glimpse into a world that existed long before humans arrived. These discoveries not only help us understand the lives of these incredible creatures, but also provide important insights into the ecosystems that supported them. In recent years, paleontologists have made groundbreaking discoveries about the environments in which these predators lived. By analyzing the fossilized remains of plants and smaller animals, scientists have been able to reconstruct the habitats of both T-Rex and Spinosaurus. T-Rex lived in a world filled with dense forests, rivers, and open plains. Its environment was vast and diverse, offering both opportunities and challenges. Spinosaurus, on the other hand, lived in a much more specialized environment, one that was likely dominated by rivers, swamps, and coastal regions. Its habitat was rich in aquatic life, but it would have also been filled with dangers, such as changing water levels and competing predators. Understanding these habitats helps us understand the pressures these creatures faced on a daily basis. For T-Rex, its environment was constantly shifting, with food sources moving between habitats and other predators vying for dominance. Spinosaurus, though specialized for water, was also affected by environmental changes. Changes in water levels, prey availability, and competition from other creatures would have played a major role in its survival. Both T-Rex and Spinosaurus were shaped by the environments they lived in. They weren't just the products of their evolutionary histories, they were also shaped by the landscapes they inhabited. Their success and ultimately their extinction was a result of their interactions with their environments, other species, and the changing world around them. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the dinosaurs, we are reminded that survival is not just about power, it's about the ability to adapt, to evolve, and to thrive in an ever-changing world. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is just one chapter in the long history of life on Earth. But it is a chapter that reminds us of the incredible diversity of life that once existed and the remarkable ways in which creatures evolved to meet the challenges of their environments. While the story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is one of fierce competition and evolutionary specialization, it is important to recognize the broader ecological context that shaped their lives. The Cretaceous period in which both these predators lived was a time of dramatic shifts in the Earth's climate and ecosystems. Continents were drifting, creating new coastlines, changing the landscapes, and altering the distribution of species. What we often think of as a time dominated by dinosaurs was, in fact, an era of flux where new life forms emerged and older ones adapted or perished. For creatures like T-Rex and Spinosaurus, the key to survival lay not only in their physical prowess, but in their ability to thrive within this ever-changing world. The climate during the Cretaceous was warm and humid, creating lush environments perfect for plant and animal life to thrive. The landscape was covered with vast forests, swamps, and rivers that provided abundant food for both predators and prey. Yet this period of abundance was also fraught with uncertainty. Sea levels fluctuated, ecosystems changed, and the competition for resources was fierce. In this environment, it was not just the largest predators that survived, but those who could adapt to these shifting conditions. The T-Rex and Spinosaurus are perfect examples of how life adapted to the challenges of a world that was anything but stable. The rise of Spinosaurus, for instance, may have been influenced by a shift in the global climate. As the seas rose, the landscape of northern Africa became a maze of rivers, swamps, and coastal regions, perfect conditions for a predator that was adapted to hunting in the water. This adaptation allowed Spinosaurus to thrive in its environment, hunting fish and smaller aquatic creatures with remarkable efficiency. Its long tail, crocodile-like jaws, and paddle-like feet made it a formidable hunter in the aquatic realm. But this same specialization also made it vulnerable. While Spinosaurus excelled in the water, it would have faced greater difficulties on land, where predators like T-Rex ruled. T-Rex, however, was well suited to the changing terrestrial landscape. The sprawling plains and forests of North America were the perfect setting for this massive predator to hunt. While the climate fluctuated, the abundance of herbivorous prey such as hadrosaurs and ceratopsians provided T-Rex with the resources it needed to dominate the land. Its keen senses, powerful legs, and crushing jaws allowed it to take down large prey with brutal efficiency. T-Rex's success was a testament to its ability to adapt to an ever-changing environment. It wasn't just about brute strength, it was about understanding its surroundings and using its unique adaptations to exploit available resources. The competition for food and territory, however, would have been intense. T-Rex wasn't the only carnivorous dinosaur in its environment. Other predators, such as the smaller but highly skilled velociraptors and the deadly Albertosaurus, would have posed a challenge to T-Rex's dominance. These predators, though smaller, were fast, intelligent, and skilled hunters. They would have competed for the same prey, forcing T-Rex to constantly refine its hunting techniques and adapt to the threats around it. In contrast, Spinosaurus may have faced fewer direct competitors in its watery realm, but it still had to contend with the unpredictable nature of the environment. Flooding, changes in prey availability, and other ecological factors would have shaped the behavior of this predator. Its specialized hunting techniques and physical features, long claws for grasping, powerful limbs for swimming, and a tail designed for propulsion, allowed it to dominate its niche in the ecosystem. But these adaptations were not without their own set of challenges. Spinosaurus would have had to constantly monitor its environment for shifts in water levels, prey availability, and the presence of other potential threats. Both T-Rex and Spinosaurus represent two different evolutionary strategies, one built for land, the other for water. But what happens when those two strategies collide? Could a predator as large and powerful as T-Rex have survived in the environment that Spinosaurus had mastered? And could Spinosaurus, as highly specialized as it was, have survived in the more unpredictable, land-based environments that T-Rex thrived in? The answer to these questions lies in understanding the evolutionary pressures that shaped each of these creatures. Both T-Rex and Spinosaurus were products of their environments, but they also represent the many ways life can adapt to fill ecological niches. While we will never know for sure how a direct confrontation between T-Rex and Spinosaurus would have played out, their adaptations tell us a great deal about the nature of survival in the wild. It's not always the biggest or the strongest that survive, but those who can adapt to their ever-changing environments. The dominance of T-Rex on land and Spinosaurus in the water was a result of this ability to adapt and thrive in their respective habitats. As we move beyond the individual lives of these predators, we begin to see the larger picture of how ecosystems functioned during the Cretaceous period. Both T-Rex and Spinosaurus were part of a complex web of life that included plants, smaller predators, herbivores, and scavengers. Every species, from the smallest insect to the largest dinosaur, played a role in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. The plants that provided food for herbivores were a critical part of the cycle, as were the smaller carnivores that helped to control populations of prey species. In this interconnected world, even the largest predators depended on a delicate balance of resources, and every shift in the environment could have profound effects on the entire ecosystem. The extinction of the dinosaurs at the end of the Cretaceous period, caused by the catastrophic impact of an asteroid and the resulting environmental changes, was a dramatic and sudden shift in the balance of life on Earth. It marked the end of an era, one in which creatures like T-Rex and Spinosaurus dominated their respective realms. But even in their extinction, these creatures left behind a legacy that would shape the course of life on Earth for millions of years to come. After the mass extinction event, mammals began to rise to prominence, eventually leading to the world we know today. The ecosystems that once supported the dinosaurs were replaced with new forms of life. But the principles of evolution, adaptation, and survival continued to guide the development of new species. In many ways, the story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is not just a story about ancient creatures, but about the larger forces of life that continue to shape the planet. Today, paleontologists continue to uncover new evidence about the lives of these ancient creatures. Fossilized bones, footprints, and other remnants of the past help us piece together the story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus, shedding light on their behavior, their environments, and the challenges they faced. With each new discovery, we learn more about the incredible diversity of life that once thrived on Earth and the complex ecosystems that supported it. The battle between T-Rex and Spinosaurus may have been a battle of evolutionary strategies, but it was also a testament to the resilience of life itself. It's a reminder that even in the face of great challenges, life finds a way to adapt, evolve, and continue on. And as we look at the fossilized remains of these ancient creatures, we are reminded of the incredible stories they hold, stories that connect us to a time long past and inspire us to continue exploring the mysteries of the natural world. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is more than just a tale of rivalry. It's a story about survival in a world where the environment is always in flux. Both creatures, though vastly different in their adaptations, were part of the same larger ecosystem. Their fates, though shaped by their evolutionary paths, were inextricably linked to the forces of nature-shifting climates, rising seas, and fluctuating food sources. In the harsh realities of the Cretaceous period, no creature, no matter how large or powerful, could survive without adapting to these changes. In the decades since paleontologists first began studying T-Rex and Spinosaurus, we've learned a great deal about their lives and environments. Fossils, once just a collection of bones and teeth, have become windows into the distant past, revealing not just the physical characteristics of these dinosaurs, but also their behavior and ecology. Through careful analysis of fossilized footprints, teeth, and even the plants they once ate, scientists have pieced together a picture of how these creatures lived and thrived. For example, the teeth of Spinosaurus tell us a great deal about its diet. Unlike the sharp, serrated teeth of other carnivorous dinosaurs, Spinosaurus had conical, blunt teeth perfect for grabbing slippery fish. This adaptation made it a master of aquatic hunting, able to hunt fish in rivers, lakes, and coastal regions. In contrast, T-Rex's teeth were large and serrated, perfect for tearing through the flesh and bone of large herbivores. The difference in their teeth alone reflects the very different worlds these two predators inhabited and the very different strategies they used to survive. But it's not just the shape of their teeth that tells us about their lives. It's the fossilized bones and footprints that give us a glimpse into their movements and behavior. The long, powerful legs of T-Rex suggest that it was capable of great speed for short bursts, possibly allowing it to chase down prey or outmaneuver competitors. Its large, muscular body with arms that were relatively small in comparison to its size suggests that it relied on its jaws and speed rather than its limbs to capture prey. Its movements would have been deliberate, powerful, and efficient. In contrast, Spinosaurus had a more specialized body designed for a different way of life. Its long tail, powerful and flexible, was likely used to propel it through the water with incredible efficiency. The structure of its limbs, along with the shape of its feet, suggests that Spinosaurus was well suited for both swimming and moving on land, though it would have been less agile on the latter. The size and shape of its sail-like structure also suggests that it may have used it for thermoregulation or mating displays. The sail, once thought to be a purely ornamental feature, may have played a crucial role in Spinosaurus's survival strategy. The question of whether T-Rex and Spinosaurus could have ever crossed paths has fascinated scientists and dinosaur enthusiasts alike. While they lived in different regions, there is always the possibility that at some point their territories overlapped. The Cretaceous period was a time of shifting continents and changing ecosystems, and the geography of the time was far from static. Sea levels were rising and falling, and the shifting landscape could have allowed for a brief overlap in their ranges. However, as much as we may wish for an epic battle between these two titans, the reality is likely much more subtle. Rather than an epic confrontation, the most likely scenario is that T-Rex and Spinosaurus existed in separate ecological niches, each ruling over its own domain. Spinosaurus would have hunted in the rivers, swamps, and coastal regions where its aquatic abilities gave it an advantage over land-based predators. T-Rex, on the other hand, would have patrolled the plains, forests, and open spaces where its powerful jaws and impressive size made it the undisputed king of the land. But just because they didn't engage in direct conflict doesn't mean their lives weren't connected. The ecosystems they inhabited were part of a larger web of life, where each species played a vital role in maintaining balance. In this web, competition for food, territory, and mates would have been constant. While T-Rex may have ruled the land, its success was tied to the availability of prey. The same can be said for Spinosaurus. Its mastery over the water wasn't just a result of its physical adaptations, it was also tied to the availability of fish and other aquatic prey. The question of whether Spinosaurus and T-Rex ever came into direct competition is a fascinating one, but it misses the larger point that these two creatures were part of a much larger ecological system. The rise and fall of species throughout Earth's history are driven by more than just the physical traits of individual creatures. They are shaped by environmental factors, by the availability of resources, and by the ever-changing nature of the planet itself. Survival in the end is not about dominance, it's about the ability to adapt to change. The legacy of T-Rex and Spinosaurus lives on, not just in fossils, but in the story of life itself. These two creatures, though separated by time and space, represent two of the most successful predators to ever walk the earth. Their ability to adapt, to thrive in their respective environments, and to shape the world around them is a testament to the power of evolution. But their story also serves as a reminder that survival is not just about strength, it's about the ability to navigate the ever-changing landscape of life. As we look to the future, the story of these two dinosaurs holds valuable lessons for us. Just as T-Rex and Spinosaurus evolved to survive in their environments, so too must we adapt to the challenges of our own world. Whether it's facing the effects of climate change, managing our resources, or adapting to new technologies, the story of survival is one that we can all learn from. The resilience of life on Earth, from the smallest microorganisms to the largest predators, teaches us that survival is about more than just power. It's about adaptability, intelligence, and the ability to respond to change. The study of these ancient predators also highlights the importance of preserving our own natural world. Just as T-Rex and Spinosaurus once thrived in their ecosystems, so too must we protect the ecosystems that support life today. The lessons of the past are as relevant as ever, reminding us that the survival of all life on Earth is interconnected and fragile. As we continue to uncover more about the lives of these ancient predators, we are also uncovering more about the history of life itself. Each discovery, whether it's a fossilized bone or an ancient plant, helps us piece together the puzzle of Earth's history and our place in it. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is a story of life, death, and survival, a story that continues to inspire and teach us about the natural world. As we examine the remains of ancient predators like T-Rex and Spinosaurus, we are reminded that the Earth's history is not a static one. It is a history marked by cycles of life, death, and rebirth. The dinosaurs, as dominant as they were not invincible. Their extinction, brought on by a massive asteroid impact, led to a profound transformation in the planet's ecosystems. While T-Rex and Spinosaurus dominated their respective worlds, their story is ultimately a part of the larger narrative of life on Earth, a narrative of adaptation, evolution, and change. The extinction event that wiped out the dinosaurs around 66 million years ago had a profound impact on the planet. The asteroid strike, followed by massive volcanic eruptions and climate shifts, caused a dramatic cooling of the Earth. The world that once supported creatures like T-Rex and Spinosaurus was forever changed. The Cretaceous period, which had been a time of flourishing life, came to an abrupt end. But from the ashes of this cataclysmic event emerged a new world, one in which mammals would gradually rise to dominate the planet. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus, like the story of all life, is ultimately one of impermanence. No species, no matter how dominant, can escape the forces of change. While these predators once ruled the Earth, their extinction serves as a reminder that survival is not guaranteed. It is not enough to simply be powerful or well adapted. Survival is about the ability to respond to an ever-changing world. The end of the age of dinosaurs was a pivotal moment in the history of life on Earth. But it was also a moment of transition, where new species would evolve to fill the ecological niches left vacant by the dinosaurs. In the aftermath of the extinction event, mammals began to thrive. The evolutionary path that had been paved by creatures like T-Rex and Spinosaurus allowed for the rise of mammals, who would eventually become the dominant life forms on Earth. While the dinosaurs had ruled for over 150 million years, mammals would go on to shape the course of life on the planet for the next 65 million years and beyond. The rise of mammals is an example of how, even in the wake of mass extinction, life finds a way to adapt and continue. The story of the dinosaurs and their eventual extinction serves as a lesson in the fragility of life. Just as the dinosaurs once ruled the Earth, we too must understand that our own existence is not permanent. The forces of nature, whether climate change, asteroid impacts, or other catastrophic events, have the power to reshape the world in ways we cannot predict. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is not just a story of the past. It is a reminder that the world is always changing and we must adapt or risk being left behind. But there is hope in this story as well. The survival of life after the mass extinction event is proof of nature's resilience. The mammals that survived the extinction event adapted to the changing conditions and began to evolve into the diverse array of species that would eventually dominate the Earth. From small nocturnal creatures to the massive mammals that would follow, life found a way to thrive in a new world. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus may have ended with their extinction, but the legacy of their existence is one of adaptation and survival, a legacy that continues in the creatures that walk, swim, and fly on Earth today. As we look at the world today, we are reminded that the Earth is still changing. Climate change, habitat destruction, and other human-driven factors are reshaping the planet at an unprecedented rate. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus serves as a reminder that life is always evolving, always adapting, and always facing challenges. Just as the dinosaurs faced their own challenges, we too must face the challenges of our time. And just as life found a way to survive after the extinction of the dinosaurs, we must find ways to ensure that life continues to thrive in the future. The study of these ancient predators continues to captivate our imagination because it provides us with a window into the distant past. By studying the fossils of T-Rex and Spinosaurus, we can learn not just about the creatures themselves, but about the ecosystems they lived in and the forces that shaped their lives. Fossils are more than just ancient remains. They are the key to understanding how life evolved and how it continues to evolve today. Each discovery, each new piece of evidence helps us piece together the story of life on Earth, and it reminds us that the past is always connected to the present. The enduring legacy of dinosaurs like T-Rex and Spinosaurus is not just found in the fossils we study, but in the ongoing process of discovery. Every new fossil, every new insight into the ancient world, brings us closer to understanding the true nature of life on Earth. As we continue to study these incredible creatures, we are reminded that the Earth's history is not a static one. It is a story of constant change, of adaptation, and of survival. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is just one chapter in the larger narrative of life, but it is a chapter that continues to inspire us to look deeper into the mysteries of our world. As we move forward into the future, we must remember that the story of life on Earth is still being written. Just as the dinosaurs once ruled the Earth, new species are emerging today and the process of evolution continues. We have much to learn from the ancient predators that once roamed the Earth, and the lessons of their survival are more relevant than ever. We must learn to adapt to the changing world around us, to understand the forces that shape our environment, and to work together to ensure that life continues to thrive. In the end, the story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is a story of life itself, a story of resilience, adaptation, and survival. It is a reminder that no matter how great the challenges we face, life will always find a way to continue. The legacy of these ancient creatures lives on in the fossils they left behind and in the lessons they teach us about the world and our place in it. As we look to the future, we must honor their legacy by ensuring that life on Earth continues to evolve and adapt, just as it has for millions of years. The extinction of the dinosaurs marked a pivotal moment in Earth's history. But it was also the beginning of a new chapter one in which mammals would rise to prominence. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is just one part of a much larger narrative about the evolution of life on Earth. One that extends beyond the age of the dinosaurs into the present day. While these ancient creatures no longer walk the Earth, their legacy lives on, not only in the fossils they left behind, but also in the lessons they teach us about the fragility of life and the resilience of nature. As we continue to uncover the fossilized remains of dinosaurs, we are reminded of just how much we still have to learn about these ancient creatures. The more we discover, the more we realize how much of their world remains hidden from us. Every new fossil and every new discovery opens up new questions about their lives, their behaviors, and their interactions with the environment. The mystery of the dinosaurs is far from solved, and with each passing year, scientists continue to push the boundaries of what we know. The study of T-Rex and Spinosaurus in particular has been instrumental in expanding our understanding of predatory behavior and evolutionary adaptation. By examining the fossilized remains of these creatures, scientists have been able to piece together a detailed picture of how they lived, hunted, and interacted with their ecosystems. The bones, teeth, And even the footprints they left behind tell us not just about their physical characteristics, but also about their behavior and ecology. Through this process of discovery, we are gaining new insights into the lives of these ancient predators, shedding light on how they became the formidable creatures they were. In recent years, advances in technology have allowed scientists to study dinosaur fossils in ways that were once impossible. Using sophisticated imaging techniques, paleontologists can now analyze the structure of bones at the microscopic level, uncovering details about the growth, diet, and lifestyle of ancient creatures. These new technologies are also allowing us to reconstruct the behavior of dinosaurs with greater precision. By studying the wear patterns on teeth and the structure of the bones, scientists can infer how these creatures hunted and interacted with their environments. This information helps us understand not just the biology of these animals, but also the ecological roles they played in the Cretaceous ecosystems. For example, recent studies of T-Rex's teeth have revealed fascinating details about its diet and hunting behavior. The wear patterns on its teeth suggest that T-Rex may have used a combination of biting and tearing motions to process its food. This is in contrast to other carnivorous dinosaurs whose teeth were more specialized for cutting or slicing. The teeth of T-Rex were built to crush bone and tear through tough flesh, indicating that it was capable of consuming a wide variety of prey, including large herbivores. This dietary flexibility would have allowed T-Rex to thrive in a world where food sources were not always predictable. Similarly, studies of Spinosaurus have uncovered new insights into its aquatic hunting techniques. The shape of its teeth, long and conical, suggests that it was adapted for grabbing fish and other slippery prey. The structure of its limbs and tail indicates that it was capable of swimming with great agility, using its powerful tail to propel itself through the water. The sail on its back, once thought to be purely ornamental, may have served a functional role in thermoregulation or communication. By studying the fossilized remains of Spinosaurus, scientists have been able to reconstruct a more complete picture of how this unique predator hunted and survived in the Cretaceous waters. The more we learn about T-Rex and Spinosaurus, the more we realize just how complex and fascinating their lives must have been. These creatures were not just mindless killing machines, they were intelligent, adaptable, and finely tuned to their environments. Their ability to survive and thrive in the harsh and unpredictable world of the Cretaceous is a testament to the power of evolution and natural selection. The rise of these two apex predators was not a simple process. It was the result of millions of years of adaptation to ever-changing environments and the pressures of survival. The legacy of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is not just found in the fossils they left behind, but also in the ongoing process of discovery. Every year, new fossil finds are helping us build a more complete picture of the world in which these creatures lived. In the future, as new technologies and techniques continue to evolve, we will undoubtedly gain even greater insights into the lives of these ancient predators. Perhaps one day we will be able to recreate more than just their physical appearance. Perhaps we will be able to understand their behavior, their interactions with each other, and even the sounds they made. As we continue to uncover the secrets of the past, we are reminded that the story of life on Earth is far from over. The extinction of the dinosaurs was not the end of life. It was merely the beginning of a new chapter. The mammals that emerged after the extinction event went on to become the dominant life forms on Earth, eventually giving rise to the diverse range of species that we see today. But just as the dinosaurs once ruled the Earth, mammals too will eventually face their own challenges. The forces of evolution will continue to shape the course of life on our planet, and new species will rise to meet the challenges of a changing world. In many ways, the story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is a cautionary tale. It serves as a reminder that no species, no matter how dominant, is invincible. The dinosaurs ruled the Earth for over 150 million years. But their time came to an end. The Earth is a constantly changing place, and the future is always uncertain. But it is also a story of hope, a story of life's incredible ability to adapt and evolve in the face of adversity. Just as life found a way to survive after the extinction of the dinosaurs, so too will it continue to evolve in the future. The lessons of the dinosaurs are as relevant today as they were millions of years ago. The challenges we face today, whether environmental, social, or political, are not dissimilar to the challenges that T-Rex and Spinosaurus faced in their own time. Like these ancient predators, we too must adapt to the changing world around us. We must learn to navigate the forces of nature, to respond to the changing environment, and to work together to ensure that life on Earth continues to thrive. As we look to the future, the story of T. Rex and Spinosaurus is one that reminds us of the importance of adaptation and resilience. These ancient creatures may be gone, but their legacy lives on in the ecosystems they once ruled and the lessons they left behind. The story of life on Earth is still being written, and we all have a role to play in shaping its future. As we stand here looking back on the age of dinosaurs, we realize that the story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is far more than just a tale of ancient predators. It is a reminder of the power of life itself, the endless drive to adapt, survive, and evolve. In their time, T-Rex and Spinosaurus were the undisputed rulers of their realms. They were shaped by millions of years of evolution, honed by the forces of nature, and their legacy endures in the fossils and lessons they have left behind. The extinction of the dinosaurs, though tragic, is not the end of the story. It is a chapter in the larger narrative of life on Earth. The rise of mammals after the Cretaceous extinction event shows us that life is not static. It is always evolving, always adapting to meet the challenges of a changing world. Just as the dinosaurs adapted to their environments and thrived, so too will the creatures of today adapt to the challenges we face. The cycle of life, death, and rebirth continues, and with each passing generation, life finds new ways to endure. The legacy of T. Rex and Spinosaurus teaches us that no species, no matter how powerful, can ever take survival for granted. The Earth is constantly shifting, and the forces of nature will continue to shape the destiny of every living creature. What matters is how we respond to these forces. Just as the dinosaurs adapted to their environments, we too must adapt to the challenges of our time, whether it's climate change, habitat loss, or other global challenges. Our ability to respond with resilience and adaptability will determine our future. In the end, the story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus is not just a story of the past. It is a story about us, about how we, as stewards of the Earth, can learn from the ancient lessons of survival, adaptation, and evolution. The dinosaurs may no longer roam the Earth, but their story, their legacy, lives on in the ecosystems they once ruled and the lessons they left behind. The future is ours to shape, and it is up to us to ensure that life continues to thrive for generations to come. So, as we look to the past and the ancient world of dinosaurs, let us also look to the future with a sense of purpose and determination. The story of T-Rex and Spinosaurus may have ended long ago, but the story of life on Earth is still being written, and we are the authors of that story. Our choices, our actions, and our ability to adapt will shape the world we leave behind. The legacy of these ancient predators is not just about the past. It is a call to action for the future, a future where life continues to thrive, evolve, and endure. The journey of life, like the journey of these ancient creatures, is never predictable. It is filled with challenges, changes, and triumphs. But if there's one thing we can learn from T-Rex and Spinosaurus, it's that no matter how difficult the road ahead may be, life will always find a way to survive. And in that survival, there is hope that we too can evolve and adapt to the changing world, ensuring that life on Earth endures for generations to come.